Hello, everybody. So, I'm doing an unannounced question and answer session for mainly people who have questions that they need answered that are regularly in my Facebook or YouTube audience. I've not done this one to LinkedIn, not got it anywhere else. Just doing an off-the-cuff live Q&A session to help people who've got any questions today. So if you do have any questions, let me know. Quite happy to show you things or whatever it may be. So make sure that you do ask sensible questions and I will answer them as soon as. Also, let me know who is watching. I do know we have a live show with Brad and Mike in an hour. However, just killing some time and doing a live Q&A because I never done one yesterday. So if you've got questions, do ask away in the chat. Let me know who is there. And I know this is unannounced. It wasn't something I planned on doing today, but got a bit of time now. So we'll answer any questions that come my way. So if you've not got questions, just let me know where you're from in the chat. What you're up to. Nice shirt, mate. Yeah, changed it up for a change, mate. So yeah, seen it online, liked it, bought it, and it's all good. Can't remember where I bought it from, but life of a hustler, mate. You know how it works. Elton Musa. Hello, Elton. How are you? How is SEO Autopilot working for you, Elton? Be curious to know if you've got to grips with that, and any feedback on that would be amazing. But guys, this is a live question and answer session, so if you've got questions, do put them in there. As I say, I know it's unannounced, no one's prepared, but hey ho, killing some time. So thought I'd answer some questions for guys that want some questions answered. Did I see the new Majestic update that showed tiered links? I have not, but that is very interesting. I'm going to just get Majestic up just now. I don't even know if I've still got a Majestic subscription, actually. I think I ended up paying for it, and every time it came out like quarterly, and I'm just like, oh, fuck, cancel it. And I'm not sure if I ever actually did. So we shall see. I don't think I've got it. Because LastPass doesn't have an email for me, but 736. Let's have a look. Account's gone. My account has gone. I will need to look into that though, because that does sound like quite a cool little feature. So Majestic shows tiered links, people. So jump on and check that out. Good to hear, Elton, that you've been using it and doing lots of campaigns. Keep up that work. Do you ever rank lead pages type sites to test keywords? Don't know what the hell's going on with me here, James, but not really. I think when I go to test keywords, I just test them on websites. I don't do it on a specific type of website and then go and try and replicate the thing again, because that's doing the job twice. I think doing tests on live websites is something I'm confident in doing, and I think it's better than testing it somewhere and then get away and then testing it in a live campaign. If I feel like testing something, I'll just test it on an affiliate website I've got or whatever. And so I do a lot of testing on live real websites. I think testing websites, although it's good to do tests, it depends on what the test is. And yes, I do have some random ass test websites for some weird stuff, but in general, if I have a theory or I want to try something, then I will always do it on a live website when I'm on affiliate websites or whatever. So there you go. What's my take on PBNs? PBNs work very well if you implement them properly. I think you'll have 50% of people saying don't use PBNs, they're dangerous. And of course, they can be dangerous, if you've got them all lumped on one server, one IP address, and all that kind of stuff, then you're leaving a massive footprint and stuff like that. So avoiding the footprints is key when it comes to PBNs. I wouldn't call PBN websites for me. Like, the real websites have them making money through affiliate and whatnot. So they're not the same as what other people call a PBN website, where they just stick up a website, it doesn't get updated and stuff like that. So again, I think having a cluster of websites that you update and actually make money from, which can also double up as a PBN, is what I would have. And that's the difference between a garbage one and something that actually works. We want real websites with real traffic. And obviously, if you can use them for link equity, then so be it. So that's my take on PBNs. Love them, always have done, and still do. So they work very well as part of the strategy, but just never overdo them. Mike Pierce. And guys, we are on in less than an hour on the Cashflow Digital. We are doing that as well. I'm just doing this because I have nothing better to do with my time than do some Q&As for guys that have done the courses. So Mike Pierce is asking, do you think Brad Maybury has pretty muscles? Now, when I seen Brad Maybury in person, I don't really remember much of it because I was drunk most of the time. But they look all right on video. So yeah, he looks as if he's putting a shift in the gym. So I'm going to say, yeah, he's got pretty muscles. Hope that answers your question, Mike, and hope to see you soon. Stephen Shaprio, what's good? Happy holidays. Yes, it's the last working week or full working week before Christmas. And am I hiring VAs? What do they usually do for you? How much are they paid? So I'm not hiring VAs at the moment. I've got a full bunch of people that do the stuff. But VAs can do anything for you, whether that's content writing, whether that's, scraping websites, or whether it's looking for expired domains. You give them a process, they follow it and report back to you. So you're basically getting the VA to do any of the grunt work that you don't actually like doing. And a lot of that would be like scraping websites, maybe sifting through your inbox, from your social media. If you're getting inundated with messages, you can get them doing a wide variety of different things, and it just takes that crap away from your day so that you can actually focus on what you're good at. Or you can just use VAs for everything if you want to be a lazy bandit. So how much are they paid, though, is the question. You can get VAs for real cheap, but you get what you pay for. If you pay someone peanuts, you're not going to get something decent. But of course, taking advantage of people that stay in countries that have a lower cost of living, why wouldn't you do that? So for me to hire someone in the UK would probably cost me around $2,500 for someone average. To hire someone doing the same work or the grunt work, maybe in South Africa or the Philippines or something, I could have 5 VAs for that price. So, you can get VAs for $500 a month. That's reasonable money in specific countries. And I think different countries have different skill sets, but the VAs are only successful dependent on the processes and the training that you provide them with. If you have an idea that you're going to go and hire a VA, and someone that's that skilled is going to drop in your lap and you're going to pay them $300 or $400 a month, you're living in cuckoo land. These people don't exist. They're stolen. Someone snaffled them up already and given them a little bit more money. And that's just the nature of the beast. But what are they paid? Certainly using VAs can get you a much lower cost than it would locally, but it's up to you what you want to pay them. But you can get a decent VA for around about $500 a month. in a lot of countries, and hopefully that gives you a kind of ballpark figure. Mike Pierce, good on ya. Indian man, I have a song downloading website. If I make an article and publish it again and again by changing its keyword, because in this niche, people only want to download songs, so it will be ranking Google. I mean, if the content's going to be copied time and time again, I mean, it really depends. I mean, duplicate content, can that work? It can work in certain niches, non-competitive industries, and so on. But you know, if someone wants to download a song, there's got to, and you want to attract them to your website to download that song, the content, no matter what, Google needs that content. So there is no real way around about it unless you're driving paid traffic to it. You know, you can, as I say, I'm not sure of the angle you're coming at there, Indian man, but from what I'm seeing, people just want to download songs, and obviously you've not got the same brand as Spotify or iTunes or anything like that, so content is probably going to be a must for you if you're trying to get them to download through your website, is all I would say. Is Serene White Hat site still profitable without backlinks? I am not sure if how profitable these websites are. You know, white hat sites, can they still work? I know guys that listen, so I'll restructure this question. Can you rank, or can websites make money with no backlinks? Yes, they can. You can drive traffic to websites that don't have backlink profiles or decent backlink profiles, if you like. However, you're always going to be targeting, you know, specific keywords and stuff like that. Now, this whole white hat, black hat thing and all that kind of stuff, you know, backlinks are an important part of SEO. And if you want to work well in a competitive industry and rank well, you're going to have to play the game and get backlinks. You know, there's this white hat thing, you know, people just writing evergreen content and waiting for, you know, Google to reward it. It doesn't happen in the real world. It really doesn't. So how profitable is it? I don't know, because I have my own strategy, my own way of launching a project. You know, I'll overload it with content. Of course, I want to keep costs down, but every website wants decent backlinks. And if you're that scared of buying backlinks or acquiring backlinks, grab an age domain where somebody's done it before, and we can do that. So, you know, that's what you want to be looking at. But how profitable are guys? I mean, there's guys out there making money who pretty much only do content and on page. And yes, they can make money, but how profitable that is, I've no idea. I'm all about scaling it up to the next level and doing what works. And for me, no backlinks is just a no-go. Sorry, man. Any experience with Webflow? No idea, but let me Google it. Webflow. Never even heard of it. Webflow, a visual way to build the web. Take back your website. I've never used it, to be honest, so I don't know either way if it's good or bad. So I just wanted to see what it was. No enterprise need, no code. I've not, to be honest, I've not used Webflow at all. You know, everything I use is on WordPress, and I get someone else to do it. I'm not a web designer. I've got no patience for that either. So sadly, I can't help you. Atif Shah, what about CTR manipulation? How to do it properly? Have you got results with it? Yes, Atif, I've got results with it. There's videos on my YouTube channel that show you exactly what I've done. You've also got people at Holly Starks here. Good morning, Holly, who also you should have a look at. She's running around with, you know, hundreds of phones doing click-through rate manipulation. And people like Holly and various other people in the industry have all been doing click-through rate for a while. And it does work, but the timing of it is... the timing of it's key. So when's the best time to do CTR manipulation for organic search? You know, probably when you're in the top 5 results, you want to then push it up into the top one is probably the best bet, but CTR can work on videos and stuff like that, and you can do it at any point, you know, just get your videos ranking and all that kind of stuff. But Holly Starks, who is in the chat, she's got courses on it and everything. I mean, I've bought Holly's course on it. I've tested a lot of stuff. I've given my feedback on my channel on what works for me. And it's about, you know, just taking those little bits from, you know, stealing a bit from Holly, stealing a bit from Chris Palmer, stealing a bit of my own, you know, common sense, and piecing it all together to see what works for me. You know, people will turn around there and say, oh, CTR doesn't work or it doesn't work that well. Have they used the right proxies? Are they using the right tools? Someone like Holly, again, is running around with 100 phones, testing it and demonstrating that it does work. And with the competition, on a search term, digital market in Las Vegas, and I think, you know, a few people have demonstrated certain parts of CTR that work there very, very quickly. So there's so many case studies out there, mate. It does work, and I've got a video on it. You can also go to YouTube and just put in, does CTR really work? And you'll see the strategy that I used. And as I say, there's people out there like Holly who's running around with actual phones doing other stuff as well. Stephen, we want Holly to on a live stream with you. I will get Holly on a live stream. I had Holly on my podcast, which also goes out as a video, and we spoke about CTR manipulation as well. And it was probably one of the most popular videos that was on there, and so many people have reached out to me saying, fuck, you know, Holly's great, she's amazing, blah 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 blah. So I'd love to have Holly back on at some point in the near future, and I just don't want to mither her too much because she's doing crazy stuff, but I'm sure I can wing it and we can get Holly on either a live stream or I can just grill her or whatever. So I'll speak to Holly and see what she says. But Holly is one of these people who does give a lot back to the community, and I'm sure at some point we'll be able to sort something out. What is my go-to source for local SEO that we should check out? I'm going to have a bunch of stuff on local SEO coming out in January. I think I do have a couple of playlists on it, but it's not that in depth. I think, you know, if you look at Mike Pierce, Brad Maybury, Jordan Pierce, and guys like that, they're all crushing it in the local SEO market out in the States. And I'm not sure what content they've got out there in terms of on their NFG website or on their YouTube channels or whatever. And I know they're killing it. And there's other guys out there as well, absolutely crushing local SEO and showing you. I think Holly does. I'm not sure if Holly's got a course on it as well. Holly, I'm pretty sure Holly's done a lot in the local SEO niche as well. And the only problem we've got here with recording videos and documenting local SEO is the bloody thing changes all the time. You know, the method, if you like, changes because Google are closing loopholes here, there, and everywhere. But where one loophole closes, another one opens. And yeah, you've just got to keep up to date. But have a look at those guys, because these guys are all doing it every day and you know, make a lot of money doing it. So these guys are probably the guys that I would be stealing information from, because they're doing it all the time. So look at them and see what they've got. How to find the ranking strategy of a niche. Just look at the competition, see who's ranking well, reverse engineer what they're doing, check their content, top pages, link building. You check out the social media. You can basically reverse engineer the whole process. So yeah, one of those processes will work for you. Zahib, what's your favorite no-cost keyword research strategy? I don't do no cost because the data that's involved in the no cost is useless unless you're manually going to go around searching for stuff and looking at the title tags that people are using. I would rather use a paid tool because it gives you more in-depth data. And a lot of people don't want to use paid tools, but if you use free tools, they're not giving you the most accurate data. And even the paid tools are not giving you, you know, the huge in-depth data. There's only so much data people can give away. for that price, but I would certainly be using your SEMrushes and Ahrefs rather than a no cost. I'm not sure what's free and what's available out there. I use SEMrush or Ahrefs. Nothing more, nothing less. I have tried many others and I don't find them that accurate. So I stick to what I know personally, and they do cost, sadly, but you can manually check stuff. Stephen, rank the type of backlink strategy you like doing from 1 to 5. I mean, every time I do backlinks, I am going to mix the strategies up, depending on what I need to do. So citations is always going to be one of the first things. Then you're going to get some guest posts, see where that goes. Do you need to do any tiered link building to these guest posts? It depends on the niche. Do you need to add any PBNs into the mix? Depends on the niche. Do you point those PBNs to your guest posts or straight to the money website? Depends on the PBNs. You know, PR works a treat. You know, you can buy PR gigs from guys, and I'm not talking about PR that it costs you $5,000 a month. I'm talking about Google News websites and all that kind of stuff. You know, that type of stuff you can get, you know, for a relatively low cost. So in terms of what I like doing from 1 to 5, really depends on the niche. Sometimes, you know, in real local crap, you can get away with citations alone. Sometimes citations and a handful of guest posts. And then in obviously very competitive markets, you're going to have to then do tiered link building, niche edits, SAPE, fucking, you know, whatever. You know, that is all going to form part of your link building strategy. So there is no one. I wouldn't fully focus on niche edits, for example, or PBNs or anything like that. Always try and mix it up and try and do what people would term as much white hat, if you like, before I start adding niche edits and PBNs and stuff, because I see them as the icing top of the cake when it comes to doing SEO. But in certain niches, spam still works very well. Certain countries, spam works very well, and you can be all out aggressive. So hopefully that helps. Sad Arshad, when working with local websites, do you write blog posts that also are location relevant, or are the blogs just general and your service and location is relevant? So I had to take my cod liver tablet there. I don't believe in writing general blog posts. Every blog post that I would add would target something, whether it's a long tail keyword, generic keyword, or a location specific keyword. So I don't see the point in writing something generic. You know, even when I'm writing a blog post on my own blog, it will be something like Scrapebox tutorial. And I want people to find me for Scrapebox tutorial. So the keywords are always there at the back of your mind. And, you know, that's what you're going to get traffic from. So I would never, ever write a generic blog post unless it was a very rare occasion. Everything is to try and drive traffic to my stuff. Stephen Shapiro, get group buy Ahrefs. It's dirt cheap. I mean, you've got ways round about it, like group buys. So not saying that's a legal thing to do, just in case anyone comes and gives me some shit. But yeah, there are sly strategies you can use like that to help yourself. Do I have a video on iframes, Holly? I don't know. I think we done a live Q&A with Mike and Brad, and we were talking a bit about iframes, but not a video specific. So if you're up for doing a video specific, let's do one. We can do it. Disavowing toxic domains, does it actually do anything? So have I ever seen benefits from disavowing crappy links? Yes, I have. Have I seen, I actually had a friend last week who disavowed what SEMrush said was toxic on their backlink auditing tool, and she disavowed them, and it actually tanked her website. So disavows do work. It depends what you call toxic. Now, a lot of tools will say that's toxic because of the anchor text used, or you know, the position of the link or whatever, and you have to use a common sense approach there. So the links that this person had that she disavowed, which actually tanked their website, one was a DR90 and one was a DR89. So do those links pass power? Yes, they do. If they're removed, do they cause damage to your website? Yes, they do. So be careful when you're disavowing stuff, because either way, you can disavow garbage, which can see your website rise, or you can disavow powerful stuff, which will see your website tank. And yeah, it's for me, it works. And I think many other people will confirm that as well. Holly is saying, I'm gunning to get our CTR manipulation video, the interview over the summer you did, to #1 in YouTube and Google. Started Monday and it's starting to move up. Yeah, it was a good video, that good conversation. Nothing, I wouldn't expect anything less. I've had a lot of good feedback on that video, and I've had friends who are going, fuck, you know, introduce me to Holly and stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, so they like that video, like the content, and yeah, man, get it ranking in Google. I was actually on the phone to Dooley the other day as well, Holly, and and he told me about your thing, which I'm not going to disclose too much about because we're keeping it a secret for the mastermind on Thursday. But you were able to get those YouTube rankings very quickly, as well as doing SEO on YouTube. You were able to rank that. So Holly is an absolute killer when it comes to YouTube and getting those videos to also rank in Google. That's a big thing. A lot of people know how to do YouTube, but do you know how to make sure that that video ranks in Google as well? And that's where Holly stands out from the crowd and does some good stuff. So yeah, that was a good interview though. SAR in my name, my competitors are. I'm talking about the Google search, doing it for a local website. Yes, CTR works on the GMBs, it works on organic search, it works in videos, it works in everything. So if you're doing it properly, you should see it working well. CTR booster is just one part of the mix, but yeah, check it out. So Indeed Man saying, in my niche, my competitors are simply publishing the same articles by changing its keywords and ranking in #1. It's easy or hard for me to compete with them. Replicate what they're doing and you'll see if it's easy to compete with them. Again, I don't know what you mean by the publishing the same articles and changing the keywords, you know, without seeing it. And I don't particularly want to rummage through and see what it is, but if your competition are doing something that's working, then try it out. And if it works for you, then great. If it doesn't, then move on to something that does work. I certainly wouldn't ever consider keep using the same article over and over again and changing the keywords. I just don't call that SEO. I don't know what that means. Maybe it's some underlying strategy that I'm completely missed out on. I don't know. But yeah, you have to do what works. Look at the competition, replicate what they're doing where possible, and grab some of the traffic that they're grabbing. Yes, Satif, the advanced course will include a local SEO in there for sure, and a whole bunch of other stuff. Yashir, have you noticed an effect in Google guaranteed ads affecting GMB CTR in the UK since Google has Google Guaranteed is launched in the UK? Not particularly, Yasser. To be honest, I've not seen a whole bunch of niches where everyone's jumped on that bandwagon. I've seen a couple, but bless me, but I've not enough to see whether it affects the CTR or not. I don't do a whole lot of local SEO either, but I'm going to imagine that it is going to affect the CTR and eventually, if it isn't already. But it's just how many people have actually got that. And when you look around a lot of the local searches, I've not seen a huge amount of Google guaranteed on there. So I think it's probably too early to say, but I would imagine it would. You know, people are crazy. You know, if they see that Google guaranteed thing and it buys some trust, they're going to go to that rather than the next guy. So is it worth the £50 or whatever it costs to get that? I would probably do it, to be fair. I think it's going to encourage trust and clicks. So anything like that is going to help you. So there you go. You should do paid ads and stuff. Your content deserves more reach. I do paid ads, believe it or not. And hopefully, I do paid ads. I do all sorts of stuff, email out. And I agree, my content deserves more reach, but it is what it is. You know, I speak at conferences as well, travel the world, so we can't dominate completely. Because a lot of other people are putting out good stuff, but yeah, man, feel free to share it. I do want to get a whole lot more people on here and learning, and that's why I do these Q&As as well. So I do appreciate the kind words though, mate. It is very much appreciated. Captain Morgan, what causes people to be hit by Google updates? I mean, there's a number of different reasons. So business owners may potentially be using an SEO who is allegedly doing the right things, and they're not. And Google isn't going out to hit websites that are good, that offer value and whatever. What you'll very often find is the sites that are hit are websites that are probably quite weak in a lot of cases. You know, they're buying the wrong type of links. They've got crappy content on there, you know, or something like that. You know, the main updates from Google tend to focus either on links or content. And Google has to flush out some of the garbage. There's no denying that. And people that are doing a good job and doing good everything, including, you know, social media and everything else, they see less impact with these updates. It's normally always like crazy affiliates who think they're better than they are, or people who've maybe not spent enough money in their marketing or have been cutting corners. These guys are the ones that are mostly hit by these updates, and there's always a reason for the updates. And again, what I'd also say on the update is people panic, start making changes, and causing themselves problems as well. So you just got to let these updates settle down as well, and hopefully you get, you know, you land back similar to where you were prior to the update. But no one's ever been penalised for doing good work. I've yet to see a website that's been penalised for doing real good work. So there's always going to be some underlying issue. Yash, what should I do in this situation? I don't think I seen what your situation was. Let me scroll back. Yash. Yeah, there's no other message for you, so I'm not sure what situation you're referring to. Can these relevant 301s be used for an initial boost to a site and start getting ranking, making $200 or $300 US a month after you've posted 50 to 63 keyword posts? Yes, 100%. You know, 301 redirects can work. You've just got to make sure you follow the process prior to doing that 301 redirect, making sure that that domain's clean, not penalised and everything else. And I've got a process where I put the old content back up and see if Google still likes it, boost it up a little bit, and then do the 301 redirect. But that's just me. But yeah, that can work very well, Stephen. Online UK test. Boss, say something about the new Google update. What to do if your site get hit. I mean, the update came out apparently at the start of December. People's rankings are all over the place. And I would always say it's still early doors. You know, I think it probably takes 2 or 3 weeks for things to settle. You know, people's rankings are still a bit all over the place, depending on a lot of stuff. What I would say is be patient, see what the general consensus is across the board, because a lot of people say, it's old guest posts that have been penalised, or crappy this or crappy that. From what I can gather from other people, it's certainly a link update. other people are out there saying it's crappy content, and it's a lot of the best this and the best that kind of content that's been taken away. There's so many people got opinions on it, and no one really has the right answer to it just yet. I think we need to see what changes people do, and just give it a bit more time. So, yeah, I mean, I've probably read the same stuff as you guys, and I think typically just keep doing what you're doing, try not worry too much about it, and then try and figure out from someone who's done all the kind of testing to say, right, that is what it was. But a lot of people are just speculating just now, so probably too early to give it a firm answer. Captain Morgan, I enjoy the instant ranking strategy in my game. What are your feelings on it? Listen, if you want instant ranking strategies, and you're going to have to play a different game, you're going to have to do stuff, and is there any long-term benefits in it? Probably not, but some people do get instant rankings and or quick rankings, and they do seem to drag it out for a long time. So listen, business is business. We're all here to make a living, and whatever strategy works for you. Fair play. I've done stuff like that before. I would much rather an easier life than worrying about my websites at night when I go to sleep. But each to their own. As I say, business is business. Alex Mags Wellings, good to see you. Disavow links with no traffic and low quality. What's the name of my golf niche site? I actually sold it, Stephen. Sold it earlier this year when Amazon slashed their commission to 3%. It was golfgearhub.com. Person I sold it to has not done a huge amount of work on it, and it has absolutely tanked, but that was the domain. But he's on the case and he's going to rectify it. Yash, what should I do in situations like, first I have to make a blog in marketing and startups, that on other hands I want to make a tool of different industry, so total of 2 websites. But I also want to write a blog for which my tool was created, so I should make a third website about that. And if these tools and all these blogs are completely different, then have 3 different websites. But if they're all related to SEO and digital, just have 1 website. Trying to manage 3 websites is too much, in my opinion. Ollie, do you buy e-commerce websites? Have a couple for sale. They require very minimal maintenance and work only on SEO. Sure, ping me the details. I am always looking for good opportunities. Depends on the niche, depends on the price, and all that kind of stuff. I do have multiple websites, and e-commerce is something that I'm always looking to expand on. So do ping me a message on Facebook or send me an email through my website, and I'll have a look for sure. And if I don't want it, then I may know of others who may be interested as well. I've got a lot of friends who are interested in the same thing. Andreas, my girlfriend is a Pinterest expert and I'm an SEO. I recommend her only to focus on affiliate SEOs from the beginning. Any idea how she could grow her business in general? It's hard for me to say because I'm not a Pinterest expert as such. But I think, doing videos, getting onto webinars, podcasts, putting your name about there, and Facebook groups and stuff like that, especially affiliate SEO Facebook groups. I'm well aware that Pinterest is a great platform and can drive a whole bunch of traffic, if done correctly, to websites. So all she needs to do is go to that audience. Now, is an agency going to buy that stuff? Probably not. So you're probably right to focus on affiliate SEOs to drive traffic from Pinterest to the affiliate websites. So the affiliate website groups and stuff like that, maybe get her to hop on a few podcasts and get in front of the right audience. A lot of my audience are all affiliate marketers. And they're all quite happy to pay someone to do that sort of shit for them, because we can't be masters of everything. And I include myself in that. I've got a Pinterest account. I don't use it. I can't get my head around it. And I think there's many people out there who would happily pay for a gig where someone could drive some traffic from Pinterest to their affiliate websites or their own websites in general. So listen, you don't even need a website. You don't need to do great SEO. You just put yourself out there in front of the right people in the groups and all that kind of stuff, and word of mouth starts happening, and before you know it, you've got this gig that has exploded massively. Yash, so we answered that one. Funny Cute Babies for Craig and Holly. What type of YouTube affiliate channel will you personally do if you lost everything today? I mean, I don't do YouTube for affiliate reasons. You know, I do YouTube for my personal branding. Holly has lost YouTube channels lots of times. I'm pretty sure she's publicly said that. And she's always bounced back up and started again. But, you know, I don't do it from an affiliate point of view, so I'm not too sure on where I would bounce back to. I'd probably just try and replicate the same thing again, you know, trying to build a brand. Side, the majority of, so does the majority of my money come from SEO or affiliate? So I do a lot of affiliate. I do a lot of consultancy and training, but the main bulk of my money comes from a couple of personal projects that I've got, which are online based, but they're not SEO related. So it's not affiliate or training. I do a lot of affiliate and I make a lot of money from affiliate as well. So probably you could argue affiliate is one of the biggest income streams. But certainly I don't do a lot of client SEO or anything. It's just consultancy and training I do from that point. I used to have an agency, done all that stuff, but over the years I've built up some of my own projects and they do a bit of affiliate, and I think that suits me personally. So yeah. Are you an iOS person or an Android one? I just bought myself the new iPhone 12. So iOS all the way. Used to be a BlackBerry man, but it took me a while to go over to Apple. But since I jumped over, I have stuck with it ever since. So there you go. Holly starts the saying, for affiliate, I lost everything. Would start doing products that are hot for buying online, because over the next 6 months, online stores will be booming still because of COVID. So that is for the Funny Cute Babies who asked that question, which is why I was kind of vague, because I knew Holly had put that there at 4:35, which was 10 minutes ago. So I've got 5 minutes left, guys, before I need to wrap up, because I've got another live show in 15 minutes with Brad and Mike. Hi, Tina. I have got your email and I will reply to it after this. The second thing I would do is embarrassing niches and ClickBank, because no one wants their friends. So yeah, toenail fungal niche is a good one. It's a good way to look at it, Holly. Embarrassing niches could work. I'm not embarrassed to take anyone's money, so toenail fungus all the way if that's what we have to do. Saeed Raza, best tools for SEO. Very generic question. General SEO tools, Ahrefs and SEMrush work really well for competitor analysis. But, you know, there's so many tools like Surfer, POP, CTR Booster, you know, like what do you call it again? vidIQ, it's called, for YouTube stuff. There's so many different tools we use. So it really depends on what you're wanting to do. I've got little tools like Link Whisper for internal linking. So that's just a handful of tools there, but there's a whole bunch more out there, and you know, some people have even get custom made tools as well. Ollie's got third thing, making a channel about crypto. We did this and made a ton of money. You can showcase one coin a week and send it to the investors group. They will hire you to do an interview about the coin and why it's a good investment. In turn, you get paid through that coin, cash out when it goes high. Captain Morgan, I like doing consistent videos. No, Side, I don't do white hat only. I'm not interested in white hat. White hat is garbage, not for my audience, not for my channel, and I have no interest in talking garbage on white hat SEO, because it's just fluff that newbies or agencies have to talk in order to get clients money. That's not the real world. That's not how SEO works, and I have zero interest in talking about fluff that doesn't work. So sadly, I won't be doing a white hat only video. Not interested in it in the slightest. UK online UK test, no problem. Jose Claudio, I would like to buy backlinks, but I only have my main money site. Should I buy links and point them straight to my money site, or create a buffer site? Buy a handful of guest posts as the buffer, and then buy backlinks to point to the guest posts. I am white hat when it comes to YouTube. I'm not saying much on here. Gordon Carslaw, sorry. What SEO Chrome extensions do I use most? I don't use any SEO ones, to be honest. I mean, I've got Chrome extensions that do certain things. Grammarly, I've got Follow Up CC, which is an email thing. I've got Contact Out, which gives me someone's email address if I'm looking for them on LinkedIn. I've got Friend Filter for Facebook, which allows me to remove inactive friends in Facebook, and I've got vidIQ. SEO plugins or Chrome extensions I don't use. I used to use them, but it blows my brains using them. So, nah, I don't use them. Enjoyed the show. Thank you very much, Rick. Nice hat. Thank you, Paul. Nice shirt you've got there. Tina is saying hi, hi Holly. Good show as usual. Talk to me on Thursday. Gutted you can't make it in person. Yeah, Holly, gutter. But you've obviously got other things to take care of back home. But we will catch you on Zoom. It should be fun. I'm just dying to see some of my good buddies again and have a fucking beer whilst doing some work. So, yes. And on the final question, will you ever consider moving to some cheap Asian countries like Chiang Mai? No, I'd love to. I've been to Chiang Mai and I've hung out there for a while, and would love to have that lifestyle. But I have a wife and a young kid, and they are very settled here in Glasgow. And I quite like my home as well, but I do like to travel the world for probably 6 months of the year. I do a lot of speaking and all of that stuff, and I will hopefully be going back to Chiang Mai next year. Might even spend a month out there, I don't know. But I would love to have done it, but obviously I'm at an age and a stage in my life where you can't upheave your whole family for that, and it wouldn't be fair to do that. So I just have to watch with sheer jealousy while I see all the other guys like Diggity, Kyle Roof, and all the other lads out there doing what they do in the nice places out in Chiang Mai. But yeah, one day, mate, I may change, but for now, family life has to come first. I do appreciate your good feedback. Make sure anyone who's enjoyed this does give us a like and subscribe. And Gordon Carslaw, Contact Out was the one I was trying to remember from your online training course. Thanks. No worries, man. So guys, I'm back on in 9 minutes on my YouTube channel with Brad and Mike. But hopefully you enjoyed the live question and answers, and I will see you in 9 minutes if you want to speak to me, Brad and Mike. Speak to you soon, guys. Cheers.